Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are now still one game ahead for Intensity Gaming versus Intensity VG versus Faint Gaming. Really strong domination coming from Intensity with PvP Warrior, now name changed to I'm Not a Troll, Cause and Shaded Talent with some insane domination. And we're going to be seeing how they do in this second matchup as Fang Gaming is actually going to be picking up that Glaive, Fortress, and Scarf going against Intensity's Cruel, Vox, and Lyra.
Yeah, their comp this time around has a lot better tools to deal with the heals that are going to be coming out of Intensity, but they really got to be careful about that Scarf because he really doesn't have very much peel. So
Well, with that, I'm still going to have to say Intensity has the better synergy. I don't know about how I feel about Faint Gaming's lineup right now, as really we were talking before. You have the Frostburn, the Afterburn, and the Gloop to really try to stop Kaz from diving in on your carry and demolishing him.
definitely, I more than anything, I think it's going to come down to Dark Rick's positioning. Yeah, that's going to be his biggest favor is just staying really far back, not overextending himself. That's going to do most of the work for him. And then in those that'll make it so that those rare occasions, the Frostburn and the occasional Afterburn will be enough to keep that Crow off of him.
Well, we are seeing it does look possibly Scarf Jungle putting up the Glaive in lane, which Glaive lane definitely, I wouldn't say meta pick in North America, but we've seen it a couple times in EU.
Seen it quite a bit in you. It's picked I would say a decent amount in NA. Not quite meta, but he's another weapon power laner that you can throw up there if you're not quite feeling the Idris or the Blackfeather.
And especially with good engage and disengage with that Afterburn, he's a pretty overall good hybrid pick.
Yeah, and it's just Book of Eulogies just makes it so much easier to do lane matchups right now. It's has so much sustain for a melee laner. It just keeps you so healthy. It's kind of ridiculous.
One thing I do have to say American Rum is going to have to watch out for is that Resonance, even though PvP Warriors Resonance, he's going weapon. It's as the first blood as Cruel trying to get into that backline, do a little bit of farm stealing. First blood is going to go over to Faint Gaming. Definitely a good start for them. But one thing you're gonna have to watch out for is just that resident bounces, not to mention on top of Shaded Talents, early game aggression from Lyra.
Yeah, normally it wouldn't be the biggest deal since like I said, he does have that Book of Eulogies, and that would kind of even it out. But with the Lyra heals giving Box even more sustain, and with the poke, and with the that, it will be a little bit more annoying.
As we do see Shaded Talent and also PvP Warrior doing a little bit of damage on top of American Ramen and along with Morbus. We can see him just getting kind of poked out, not able to really farm. So this is the one thing that I was worried about going into it. He's popping a health potion just to get a little bit of health back. But just the aggression going to be coming out from PvP Warrior and the outranging him basically.
Yeah, what would probably be a good idea is if they need to use this fortress and maybe try to make a quick aggressive play on Box, and that might make him think to play a little bit safer because right now he's just harassing him along with the Lyra.
Well, now about 3 minutes into the game, we got First Blood on over to the side of Faint Gaming with Kaz trying to do a little bit of early aggression. He's definitely going to have to watch out, but we see him just trying to gain that upper hand. And that's one of the biggest things as Cruel. If you do not gain that early advantage, you basically lose out.
Yeah, especially against something like Scarf, which is just going to be such a monster later on. Cost really has to think about maybe getting a really quick tier 2 shield because if he doesn't get onto Scarf, Scarf will almost burst him. He's going to be doing so much damage.
Well, already we're seeing the first buy actually on the side of American Ramen, picking up that poison shiv. So definitely getting some mortal wounds down on top of Fortress against that Lyra. Definitely going to shut them down just a little bit. But my question is, as PvP War also picks up Poison Shiv, how will that actually affect going into the middle game for them?
Well, for Vox, it's just it's just the normal thing. It's what you always get with Glaive. Sometimes you see them not always get Poison Ship. It's still really popular on Glaive as well, but you see them go Sora Blade a lot and then build into Poison Ship next. He's likely built it first here so that he can have those mortal wounds more often and more quickly against this Lyra Cruel. But for Vox, it's just a normal thing going into that going into the tension bow next, and then finishing up with a breaking point most likely. So the main thing is that it's going to offer even more mortal wounds for the side of Feint.
Still good positioning, good roaming as a team, as we saw it from Intensity, just kind of roaming down as a team and then separating off so Kaz can get a little bit more farm so he can continue farming. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be kind of a passive early game, even though we had about 2-minute first blood, but still a passive early game. Neither one of them wants to really be the aggressor in this situation because they're really looking for that late game.
Well, Kaz wanted to be, but he got pushed off, so that probably made him think a little bit more about it. And he's in a position now where if he gets killed again, that's really tough for him. And it could even start a bit of a snowball going.
But here we come, a little bit of damage. Actually, a good amount of damage onto PvP Warrior and taking him down to nearly about 25% of his HP. So definitely good aggression on the side of Feint Gaming. And unfortunately, Intensity has to respect it and actually back off.
Yeah, people really forget how much a Jungle Scarf can do. He gets at those abilities, he gets his ability levels so quickly, and a Spitfire does a lot more damage than you expect from a Scarf at 5 minutes.
Well, we did see him kind of Sonic Zoom right out of that gloop, and we're already seeing the power from the burn and the gloop together. It's really hard to get out of there, but we may see it. Oh, no follow-up. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication on the side of Feint Gaming. Didn't really want to go after it, but could have afterburned right there.
A little bit of a missed opportunity, but it shouldn't hurt them too badly.
Ooh, Kaz is going to have to watch out. He's not in a good situation. He's on top of that gloop, taking about half of his HP and just deciding maybe it's not a good decision to try to go up against Movis and Darthrick right now.
He's a little surprised they didn't try to capitalize on that and push a little bit, but they're just playing it safe. They know that they've got that incredible late game with the Scarf.
But here comes Lyra's B, is going to drop, still dropping her about half health, but that healing is going to actually keep her up. And both teams just back and forth poking each other, but still about 1,000 gold in favor of Feint Gaming still going in about 7 minutes.
And that's purely just one kill and just better rotations, just farming better. As you can see, American Ramen has just a little bit of a tiny bit of a CS lead, and Darthrick is about even with Kaz. So,
well, one thing we're definitely seeing different from game 1 to game 2 for Feint Gaming right now is they're actually rotating as a team now.
Yeah, if anything, it almost seems this game like they're the ones. I almost wanted to call them Intensity because they seem to be rotating better as a team than Intensity was. So they're definitely doing a lot better so far this game.
Well, we're gonna have to see how this middle game to late game does play out. Still nothing too much on the side of both teams. Still really, really passive going into it. Kaz already picking almost up to that poison ship, but does have that tension bow. But on the other side, American Ramen does have that tension bow. Here comes the afterburn. Great afterburn into the gloop, but isn't going to be able to actually do it. Morvis going to be popping his attack of the pack, but really nothing coming of it.
They did get the fountain out of Shade of Talent, though, which is pretty important. They do have fountain advantage now, so.
Well, with that about half HP onto Intensity's turret, they're going to have to watch out, trying to see what they want to do. But here comes Lyra's B. Good amount of damage coming down onto Darthrick and trying to see what Intensity wants to do. They're going to have to back off. Here comes the gate coming out, the teleport working out very well. Just back and forth aggression, seeing what they want to do. Good amount of damage coming out. Maybe seeing another kill. and gonna have to back off right under that turret. Still, both sides looking extremely low going into it, but the Lyra's actually, Imperial Sigil was able to keep him up immensely going into it. But here comes the afterburn from American Ramen, but on the other side into the jungle, that was going to be able to kill onto Kaz, for Kaz onto Morphus.
Yeah, I feel like they pushed a little bit too hard when they had to use their own fountain. They should have just considered pushing them away and not trying to re-engage. They went a little bit too far. They took a lot of damage going back to their turret, and that kind of set up that secondary play where Kaz was able to get that kill.
Well, still about 9 minutes and 37 seconds into the game, about 200 gold, still in favor of Feint Gaming, narrowing that gold deficit about 1,000 gold for Intensity.
Also, just to note again, Intensity, double weapon again, complete double weapon comp for the second time in a row.
Well, maybe that's going to have to something that Feint is going to have to work on, but right now, taking a look, they really don't have any armor. Fortress does pick up that Atlas, but we're seeing an engage coming out. Here comes the attack of back. Afterburn right on top of it. Attack is slowed onto Kaz, so really nothing much you can do. But American Ramen just absolutely taking a blunt of the damage, and he's just going to have to back off. He's not going to be able to do too much damage. He goes in, but by the time he starts doing damage, he's nearly at a quarter of his health.
Yeah, really tough right now. He's facing a lot of damage when he goes in. Vox is pretty good into a glaive because he can just consistently sonic zoom away from him, so really hard for glaive to catch. He's really got to get him with that afterburn at the beginning and then finish him off right there.
Ooh, a little bit of a misplay on that afterburn, and Fortress trying to follow up, but nothing's going to be doing too much on that.
Almost kind of a waste to me. I mean, you don't have that you don't have a captain that has secondary CC, and Scarf wasn't there. You're really unlikely to finish the box right there, especially with the heals coming out of Lyra.
Trying to see, well, Shaded Talon and Kaz trying to see if they can do a little bit of engage without Fox. Nothing too much is going to happen, but still, Shade doing very well on the Bright Bulwark, actually popping it when he needs to, blocking out that afterburn.
Yeah, it's really feels bad when you get baited to use a Bright Bulwark when you don't want to. So really good usage on that. A lot of players do it, even the really, really good players. So good on him for making sure to always have it when he needs it.
About quarter of health on the turret, trying to see what they could do. If Feint really wanted to, they could turret dive right into there and possibly get the turret and maybe a kill or two.
Yeah, they have this Lyra starting to run out of energy, so she's not able to pop the sigil as carefreely anymore. So could be in their interest, but it seems like Scarf and Cruel went back to farm, or at least Scarf did.
Well, taking a look at it, Cruel Kaz is definitely in that brush, trying to smell a little bit of blood, trying to catch us, see if they can get another kill. On the very bottom, gonna have to watch out Darthrick. The mind is gonna pop, but we're seeing a 2v1 right now. Up into it, gonna see if Kaz can actually pick that up. No! American Ramen gets away with an afterburn as well as Morvis right onto it. Can he actually get the kill? There we go. PvP Warrior picks up that kill right by the turret, and that is going to actually come out. Oh, and there we go. 2 kills actually in favor of Intensity and taking that very well.
Yeah, one thing people forget is that Cruel is actually a really classic counter to Glaive. He just gets the weakness stacks on him too easy. The afterburn isn't quite enough, and so in a 1v1, Cruel is going to win every time, even with a poison shiv on the Glaive. So, you know, Scarf was pushed back a little bit, and American Ramen and Motivus tried to come to his help, but they got pushed on with the Cruel and got the kill.
There we go. That is going to be a gold. Actually, a trade for 300 for 300 for the side of Intensity and Feint, so nothing really too much. But here comes the boost. That is going to be a kill for Feint. Good engage, as they're going to now turn and burn onto the Sentry. They're going to possibly look for another kill. PvP Warrior and Shady are going to have to watch themselves. But on the side, Feint is looking really low right now. Going to have to watch themselves. Here comes the Dragon's Breath. There goes the Fountain coming right after it. And that's going to be another kill down. Morvis looking really low. Is going to have to watch himself. Here comes the Mortal Wounds. Will that actually be an ace? No. Cruel is actually up just in nick time.
Yeah, really great engagement. That's what they need to be doing. They need to be sticking together, finding players when they're alone, and getting that getting that second and third kill. Very, very good.
Ooh, very close for Darthrick, just teleporting right into it. But here comes Kaz, trying to be a sneaky little crow right there, but it's not going to be able to do too much.
Trying to see if he could catch somebody overextending, overstaying out in their own jungle by themselves or low. Couldn't quite make it happen.
Producer is informing me that it is Motivis. Tivis. I do apologize.
Motivus?
Mortivis.
I think
Really,
it's Motivus, but
I'm just really bad with names overall.
so
But-
it seems.
14 minutes and about 45 seconds into the game. Kraken's about to spawn 3-4 in favor of actually Feint Gaming. This game being a lot closer than game number one, which was complete dominance. But we're seeing it engage. Here comes the boots after Bird, keeping it away from the carry. Now, both Intensity is just going to have to run. They can't get to the back line. Dragon's Breath does come out, trying to see what they want to do. And there goes the first kill in favor of Intensity, trying to see what they want to do. American Rom is just going to have to burn away, trying to see if he can actually survive. I'm not a troll, trying to look for that kill, but he's already too far away. So it looks like the Crystal Sentry is going to be just another kill for them. So again, Intensity turning it around. Now 1,000 gold ahead for them, and they're going to try to take after the Kraken.
Yeah, possibly maybe a tiny bit of a mistake coming out of Scarf there. He decided to ult. Might not have been the best time to. He ran right into 2 poison shivs and a lot of damage and essentially delivered himself into the other team with no defense. And even the Eve wasn't going to do enough just because of the 2 poison shivs that were on the other team. So pretty hard to deal with there. Might have been a better idea just to sit back and poke.
15 minutes and 56 seconds is now the first Kraken and the earliest Kraken of the finals currently, this best of 5. And just insane close. I mean, already 16 minutes in. Only it's 4-4 right now, and the gold is on par. Only a couple hundred gold difference from each other, but Intensity has Kraken knocking at Feint's door.
Yeah, very close. This Kraken could mean the difference if they manage to get another fight on top of this. Could mean a lot of turrets going down and will put Intensity way in the lead. But if Feint can defend, they're just going to continue to show that they're not going to go down easy. That the first game was an outlier. That's what.
Well, from Hell's Heart did land onto American Ramen, so close, but the tankiness just coming out from the side of Glaive just was able to it. But that's going to be 1 turret. That's going to be 2 turrets, and they're going to let Kraken push.
Yeah, but luckily, this is where having a Scarf comes in really in handy because he just does so much damage to Kraken. It's almost ridiculous. So even though they got 2 turrets there, pretty worth, but still at least wasn't worse. So Feint Gaming still in this.
One thing that I have noticed Intensity actually doing is putting an actual priority whenever they're rotating into the enemy jungle. They actually put a priority on that sentry turret, burn it down really quickly with those 2 tension bows and the poison shivs. So they have that attack speed and the burst coming out from it. And they're able to burn that sentry and open up that section of the jungle very well for their side, and just trying to see what they want to do. But we may see it engage, trying to see what they want to do. They do have war treads actually available if they want to engage. Ooh, Attack of the Pack does come out, trying to see what they want to do. Get a little bit of mortar wounds onto it. Attack is slowed onto Liar, but that's not where you wanted to put it. There we go. Another Atlas. Kaz is looking in big trouble right now. Fountain is popped on the side of Intensity, trying to see what they want to do. Dragon's Breath does come out from Darthrick. Here we go. The damage, that's 1. Can Morvis actually go down? No! That is going to be 1. That is going to be 2 kills on the side of Feint Gaming, and that's going to be a triple kill and an ace as they do go right into it. 18 minutes and 23 seconds, and they're going to try to knock right on Intensity's door.
Really good fight there. Scarf did exactly what he needed to do. Got out when things got hairy, poked as long as he could, and then when someone got low, that's when he used his Dragon's Breath to finish them off and to get on the other team.
Very good engage, and the afterburn coming out from American Ramen to actually punt away PvP Warrior just in the nick of time very well into the wall and stunning him up.
And then he did it again. He got him back into the gloop. It got that finished off. So 2 kills going to them, and Kraken just came back up. So
Right now,
pretty soon.
Right now, only a couple hundred gold in favor of Feint Gaming, trying to see what they want to do. They don't want to go after Kraken right now, but if they're able to actually pick off either PvP Warrior or Kaz in this scenario, or even Lyra, they will be able to actually force that 2v3 into the Kraken.
A little bit of an interesting pickup here. Modivus going for the Echo.
Well, maybe he wants the 2 attack of the packs. Maybe more mortal wounds. We never know.
Most likely Scarf going very good here, getting that double armor starting to get going. American Ramen decided that a reflex block of some kind was more important than stacking armor, so.
Oh, with that, we got a little bit of cooldown and mana regeneration. Not to mention 2 attack of the packs coming out from Fortress. Here it goes. That's the first attack of the pack. Echo is blown, so he's going to be able to have that again and pop it up. And looks like Intensity is just not in a good situation right now. Going to try to turn it away. Here comes Dragon's Breath. Is going to actually slowly attack onto Kaz. And this is where you're going to actually want to drop the loop. But here we go. That's 1 kill on the side of Feint Gaming. Trying to look to it. There we go. Afterburn. But Lyra's going to be able to pick up that kill with the auto attacks. And now they're going to take a look onto PvP. See if they can get it. There we go. Very low on the side of Fortress. And 2v3. Basically, 2 1-on-1 2 to 1 in favor of Feint Gaming. I do apologize.
2 to 1. Yep. Very good usage of the Echo there. Using the first attack of the pack to engage, which is how most people use it. But then having that second one for the middle of the fight when things are already in the thick of it means that Intensity couldn't focus as much on the wolves, so they were taking mortal wounds from the wolves a lot of that fight.
Not to mention, I want to put this into perspective also. With 2 attacks with the packs, he's getting double that fortified health.
Double the fortified health as well. Very, just very important. Like, especially when you're one of the less tanky heroes in the game, one of the less tanky captains, having that bit of fortified health in the middle of the fight also has the, benefit of giving you 3 wolves that do mortal wounds. Not bad.
There we go. About 1,000 gold in favor of Feint Gaming right now. Very fantastic comeback on the side of Feint. 5-9 in just right now shutting down the side of the double weapon side with Lyra for Intensity.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get a little bit tougher here for Intensity, but they're definitely not out of it. They definitely still have the opportunity if they can get on that Scarf, who's doing a lot of damage when he manages to sit in the back and just throw down Spitfires and Goops. They can get on him pretty quickly. They can still win these fights.
Well, one thing they are going to have to watch for, if Kaz gets into that back line on top of Darth Rick and throws out from that Hell's Heart, he's going to be in major trouble. About 22 minutes trying to see if they can bait out that Kraken. We do have, there we go, attack of the pack is popped, trying to see if they can chase right into it. Lyra's B is going to be popped. That Bright Bulwark is going to actually stop that engage on the side of Morvis. And there we go. That is going to be actually a health buff going on the side of Feint Gaming, as they do want to try to pop the attack of the pack again. But you're right. They're so focused on attack of the pack right now. They want to try to back off so they're not at a disadvantage with those mortal wounds.
Yeah, but probably not quite how Feint wanted that to go. They managed to get rid of both of them without losing anybody, so they're at a bit of a standstill now. Modivus is likely going to wait for at least, even though Echo won't come up for another 30 seconds, his normal cooldown only has about 15 more seconds, so he's probably going to wait for that before fighting again.
Well, Intensity is definitely going to have to look for the right opportunity while attack of the pack is down. They got about 7 seconds. Bright Bulwark is down. There goes the Afterburn. Is going to be blocked. Trying to see what they want to do. Imperial Sigil is going to be popped. There we go. War Treads. Dragon's Breath is up, and it is burning. Intensity Fountain is going to be popped, saving the life of Kaz just in the nick of time. It's insane the amount of sustain that this team has.
Yeah, I mean, pretty lucky that they got out of that, honestly. That was almost a kill on the Kroll, which would have led to worse things. I feel like part of Intensity's problem here is that they're kind of waiting with a Cruel Lyra, you want to engage, especially on a hero like Scarf.
Ooh,
They're
but we're gonna have to take a look at a fight. They are fighting with Kaz actually taking a brunt of damage again, and they're just getting kited. But Darthrick's gonna want to look for the damage. Oh no, he's not in a good position right now. He is gonna be the focus target going into it. Afterburn is gonna go away, but here comes the portal. That's gonna be 1 kill. That's gonna be 2 kills, and that is gonna be an ace on the side of Intensity Gaming.
and that could be game. That will be game. And that's all it takes.
Unfortunately, it just was not in the right position for Darth. As soon as Fortress had rotated up, and it was only American and Darth together, you could see Intensity VG actually turn their sights, their crosshairs, onto Darthrick and shut him down.
Yeah, I mean, once they had the weakness stacks on him, once he had 3 or 4 of those, he was just not doing any damage, therefore was not sustaining, and just got taken down by that double weapon. I mean, it was really always about Scarf playing that perfect game, being in the right position all the time, and that was just the one time. He's been doing it up till that point for a while, winning some fights, and then just one mistake, one time being too far out there, got him killed. His team cleaned up the rest of his team, and they won the game.
Definitely, I'm going to have to say the MVP for that match in my heart is going to be Shaded Talent for the impressive Light Borix. Even
Really?
when he had actually, he saved enough mana to actually use it every single time to try to counter American Ramen, so that Afterburn was null and void for nearly every single pretty much engage in fight. It was shut down every single time. So that was a tool that Feint Gaming did not have in their utility.
Yeah, also saved his portals very smartly. If you notice, they didn't need to use portal to get onto Scarf, so he was able to save it to go over the wall after Feint ran that way, and that was a big part of them getting that ace instead of having to take a Kraken and try to finish the game that way. So really, really good conservation of his abilities there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Intensity VG is up 2-0. One more game. Intensity VG is going to be taking the finals for the Season 3 NA Champions League to the bank with 3 games in their pockets. 3-0 in the finals. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, that's going to be really disheartening for Feint there. I mean, they really probably thought they had that game. It looked like they did for a bit. And just one little mistake by one hero, and that was it. That was a wrap. So really tough game, but at least they showed that they can give Intensity a good game, which is really important.
Well, this is what we're just going to be... Wait, victory? Oh, there we go. Okay, victory. I like that. I like that graphic. It's pretty cool. But it's absolutely insane. Intensity has been playing this very well. They were a little bit shaky on game 2. Game 1, complete dominance. I have a good feeling about Feint. If they can play at least a little bit of passively for the third game, they may have a chance to actually take it back. At least try to take one game off of Intensity. But right now, Intensity, they're on a roll.
Yeah, you almost wonder at what point do Feint consider banning Cruel, because they picked it both times and they've done very well with it. Kaz is obviously very comfortable on this hero despite it not really being in his top. I mean, he's played it very well and they've won 2 games with him with different carries.
I wasn't too sure actually how that draft was going to play out completely, but it actually worked out really well with Fortress being in that comp, as well as Glaive picking up that poison shiv, having nearly constant mortal wounds going up against that Cruel and Lyra, a little bit of healing to the side of Vox with the poison shiv. They did a really good job in actually shutting it down. Unfortunately, just that last fight.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that was always kind of the knife's edge is whether Scarf manages to stay out of harm's way or not. So even though you could say it was just that one fight, like that was the situation every time, was does Scarf manage to position perfectly and stay out of the way of everybody, or does he get jumped on? And so that was kind of that's where the comp was a little bit damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if they'd picked a captain with more CC that could have protected Scarf, they wouldn't have had the mortal wounds. But at the same time, they got the mortal wounds without a captain that could keep people off of Scarf even better. So it was a little bit of a tough situation, but they did a lot better than they did first game, which is something to say.
Well, we are going to actually be seeing the draft actually start up with a first ban Cruel. Don't want to be actually facing Kaz's Cruel again. That's just not something you want to be facing. And that's going to be a second ban of a Glaive. First and second ban, Cruel and Glaive.
Yeah, I mean, if a team's beat you with a pick twice, and you're not 100% sure that you can counter it with something, it's not a bad idea just to ban it, especially when you're on A side and you're going to get the benefit of power picks that are left over.
Not to mention that Glaive, PvP Warrior doing, do believe PvP Warrior, but the Glaive doing a really, really good job at afterburning away the Vox, getting him stun up, putting him in the Scarf's loop, slowing him down, and doing an incredible amount of damage in such a short period of time. I am not too surprised at that ban. And a first pick is going to be that Idris on top of Blackfeather.
Yeah, it just back to there. I don't know if I'm just a little bit ahead of you, but I also have Lyra ban and Grace ban.
Yes, and Lyra and Grace. But I mean, first two picks, good strong picks if they can initiate with them well, but pretty normal bans.
Yeah, we saw this matchup in the first game, though I believe on different sides. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think so. Let me look back and make sure that who's on which side. Yeah, so Intensity had the edges the first game.
Well, we are seeing the captains actually get picked up. That's going to be Kath and Lance pickups. And last but not least, we're going to see the last two damages.
The Lance could be a sign that they're going to pick another squishy jungler. So they're preparing with the Lance so they have something to keep whatever their last pick and that Blackfeather off of them. Appeal for them a little bit better.
But still, I do have to admit, with Lance's actually crowd control and utility on top of Idris, that's going to be a good amount of damage, especially if Githian Wall can actually get the enemy team actually stunned up against those walls.
Yeah, particularly depending on how they finish this comp out, you end up with a really good dive hero and Idris, someone that can keep up with somebody, can keep that damage going. Makes it so someone can't run away. Lance can stick back with the other carry, protect them, keep them defended, and get those good impales when he sees the opportunity.
Oh my lord, we're going to be seeing a Petal pick in the finals. Idris, Petal, and Lance. Oh my lord, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, a little bit interesting because usually these days you only see a Petal when it like expertly counters. You almost wonder why they left Cruel in if they were gonna pick Petal. But yeah, interesting pick. We'll see how it works out.
And the last pick is actually going to be Samuel. Going up against that, I don't know how I feel for intensity for the Samuel pick going up against Petal.
It just depends. It can be I think just steal a phrase from Suijay, it's a skill matchup. I think mostly. Once normally the normal Malice and Verdicts, Petal's gonna block those with Munions, but the Drifting Dark ones, the empowered ones, they're gonna blow up her Munions pretty quick and make her spend a lot of energy. So it just kind of depends.
Well, we are locked in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NA Champion League Season 3 Finals with Feint Gaming and Intensity. Intensity already up 2-0 over Feint Gaming. Can Intensity finish out the finals 3-0? Or will Feint actually do a reverse sweep and take it home 3-2? Man, that Nether Knight Lance skin, absolutely beautiful as he touches the fold. And they're now starting to pick up those items and pretty standard build. We're seeing a double crystal bit actually come out from Kaz on the onto Samuel.
Yeah, Kaz losing a little bit on this epic skin game here, not picking Evolution Samuel to counter the Nether Knight Lance tier 3. So I don't know.
Well, taking a look up at lane, just throwing a little bit of chakram, trying to see what they want to do. A little bit of poke coming out from PvP Warrior onto American Ramen. If you guys don't know, during the matches, PvP Warrior did rename to I'm Not a Troll. So just keep that in mind. But we are seeing Kath doing a little bit of a scouting on the enemy side of jungle. Going to lose him a little bit of XP there, though.
Yeah, but he did manage to make that steal. So, and his jungler is going to hit level 2 since he's been solo farming. So, not necessarily a bad idea.
Impale actually up at the top, trying to go for a little bit of gank from Motis. I'm really bad with names, guys. I do apologize. But here comes the second Impale onto PvP Motivus.
Say it with me.
Motivus.
You got it.
All right. I'm still gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
But here comes another Impale. Githyan Wall right into it. Super, super low. And just unfortunately not enough melee range for the longest melee range in the game. That is Lance. But Motivus with the actual Githyan Wall into the wall. Trying to see what they want to do. A couple stacks. And with Kath, I mean, that's one of the biggest things that you want to do is try to gain as many stacks of her heroic perk before 7 as possible, because once you start fighting in that middle game is when you really want to start saving your Merciless Pursuit and also the silence. But Motivus looking extremely low. Possibly PvP Warrior might want to save his Feint of Heart for the execute.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of that, Motivus managed to get away. But you're definitely right about the Kath and her stack. She wants to get as many as possible. Usually, what people say is overall, everybody says it a little bit differently, but mostly people, I think, agree on that you want at least 2 a minute. So, and then obviously, like you said, you want to save
American Ramen Merciless Pursuit is gonna actually get first blood on the side of Intensity. Just Kaz doing a great job, actually roaming up on top of the Drifting Dark into Merciless Pursuit and on point to finish it off. Great engage for first blood.
So yeah, even though they didn't finish the Lance, him going back allowed them to not have vision in the bushes and not have that Githyan Wall there to back them up, so enabled them to get first blood eventually anyway. Very, very good rotation there, going up when they knew Lance was not there.
Well, already about 3 minutes and 10 seconds in, first blood goes over into Intensity with a very good composition. Actually, team synergy coming across from the side of Intensity, trying to see what they want to do. 3 members of Feint now up in lane, trying to poke out the side of Intensity.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed over these games as a whole, it's particularly in the early game, not much fights in jungle, lots and lots of lane focus in these games. All 3 of them.
Well, Drifting Dark. Oh no, Kaz with the mouse and Verdict in the wrong direction with the Drifting Dark, unfortunately, when first starting off that fight. But did manage to hit a little bit. Kaz, ooh, gotta watch out. Those scout mines are doing work right now. He's looking really low, but here comes Shaded Talent trying to see what they want to do. They will be able to take that middle tree and trying to see if they do it. There goes the Impale, but that's going to be a kill for Blackfeather onto Darth Rick and trying to see if they turn around. But 3 members, Motivus, you better run, my friend. Lance. Oh, unfortunately, that's going to be another kill. Just caught in a very, very bad position trying to help out his teammate. And they're going to be able to take it out and get a couple hundred more gold.
Yeah, not the greatest idea for Lance to try to go for the Samuel. I mean, with Samuel's heal, even with just the corrupted genius, he's going to be able to heal up, and you're likely not going to kill him. That made it so that he couldn't defend his pedal, and she just got taken out since she was already so low.
You are correct. Well, taking a look at it, going to be missing a couple of Impales, trying to see what they want to do. Going to be popping that bubble, just trying to negate some damage going right into it. But here comes the Drifting Darkness, 3 and 3. Here comes the ult. It is going to miss, not in enough time. But it's just going to be back and forth poking. Definitely, Feint Gaming did not want to be there in that scenario.
Yeah, very good push by Intensity. Also, they have Fountain advantage. Motivus hasn't managed to finish his yet. So really a good idea to be pushing right now when they have ult and Petal thought that.
Woo! On point actually does finish it off along with a Mouse and Verdict on top of Darth Rick. Now it's 2v3. They're looking extremely low. They could actually turret dive with the Fountain if they chose.
Looks like they're gonna maybe choose to take some more jungle instead, though. But really smart to take advantage of the spike.
You are correct. And we have no one actually defending that turret. Just trying to poke it out a little bit. They're going to get a little bit of damage right onto that turret. And about 75, about 50% health right now onto that turret. Look at how low American is right now. They're going to actually have to pop the boost. Shade Talent looking extremely low. It does look like PvP Warrior is going to be trying to finish it off the turret. No! Actually having to actually pop that fountain. And might want to back out before it's too late.
Yeah, they need to consider getting out of here now. They are all low. They don't have Fountain. Motivus, for some reason, didn't pick up Fountain. I don't know if maybe he didn't have enough gold at the time, but he does not have Fountain still either. But that turret's so low, it will go down eventually now, which is a pretty good place to be in for intensity.
Well, right now, about 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, 0-4 in favor of Intensity Gaming while they try to look for it. That is going to be an alt. There we go. The sunshine is going to shine, but it's not going to be enough. Black Feather is going to be able to pick up that first kill onto Darth Rick again. Now 2-0-3 for PvP Warrior and doing a fantastic amount of damage, but Shaded Troll missing that impale by inches.
Shaded Troll.
Shaded Talent. I do apologize. I'm not a troll is trolling me right now with that name.
So yeah, the Kath is countering this Petal pretty well actually. Using that bubble when she ults, negating a lot of the damage and really negating a lot of the heal that would come back out for her, sending a lot of damage back to her.
And the very bottom, we just missed it, but Kaz was able to actually go up against American Ramen with the Drifting Darkness, just managing to land a Mouse and Verdict. Ooh. Oh, they rose offensive onto Darth Rock! Oh, unfortunately, that is going to be a very poor choice for Rose offensive for the side of PvP Warrior, as American Ramen does actually go into the fight, walking right into lane and saying, nope, you are not killing my friend today.
Yeah, they thought that he'd be able to get that quick burst onto Darth Rick, but just running into that 2v3, not always the best idea, so got a little bit punished for that over-aggression there.
Shaded Talent is not in a good direction, but Fate knows what's going on. He's going to have to go. That is going to be a kill on the side of Intensity Gaming as they do try to go onto it. There we go. All coming out, but that's not going to be enough as an auto attack and also Corrupted Genius does send American Ramen to the grave.
Yeah, really good rotation by Sam coming up the lane right when they needed him, managing to get 2 kills because of it. That's going to get them a lot of map control here.
I was kind of worried for the side. I was actually kind of worried for the side of Intensity for actually losing that turret. But as we saw Shaded Talent actually on the top side of that turret right before that fight, and then we saw Kaz actually coming from the jungle as well as PvP Warrior coming back to the lane. It was a very good actually regrouping of Intensity to actually try to engage on that fight.
Indeed, very smart, just coming together as a team, even though they were in 3 separate areas, just moving together really well. Feint wasn't quite ready for it, got caught out a little bit, took a lot of damage. Petal's so squishy when she gets hit directly with those Empower Malice and Verdicts. Takes a lot of damage right now.
Well, now about 9 minutes and 20 seconds into it, trying to see what they want to do. They're going to pretty much Merciless Pursuit right out of there. Don't want to be really engaging without PvP Warrior. And it looks like he's just might be having some connectivity issues, just standing by the turret a little bit, so they may not want to fight. But still about 9 minutes, 40 seconds into the game, 7 kills ahead for Intensity VG. Oh, and Impale! Kaz not in a good situation. Is going to be face checking that brush and be ending with a death.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate Shading Talent having to babysit the lane for I'm not a troll since he didn't seem to be there for a bit. Leaving Samuel by himself, got caught out.
Shaded Talent's going to have to watch out. That bubble is going to fade there. And it does look like Fate Gaming is going to be able to pick up that turret for their side and actually try to close that gap for the gold deficit to near about 2K right now.
Yep, so far Kath's got that really early contraption, gonna help her not only with vision, obviously, but with those cooldowns to get up. She's also got her stacks pretty on point for this point in the game, 24 in 10.5 minutes, really not bad.
You are correct. It doesn't not feel like about a 10-minute game right now. It feels more of a closer to 20-minute.
It's the second time you said that. Maybe you're just really bad with your sense of time. Who knows?
I am. I really am. Because you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. Aren't you having fun, Josh?
Oh man, so cheesy. No, I agree. It's been a lot of fun doing these games. Two really good teams.
Well,
very enjoyable casting the series so far. And hopefully it's not over yet.
You're going to make me blush. Well, it is about 11 minutes into the game. Each side, definitely intensity, is being a little bit more passive than they usually are. It does look like PvP Warrior might be having some connectivity issues or just love standing by a turret. Either one.
Yeah, that's like next level trolling, if that's what it is. But
Man,
yeah, that seems to be the case. Unfortunately, we are not,
can't be seeing the players actually connectivity, but Shaded is actually going to get rooted up, not in a good position. Githyan wall right into the wall. Here comes the Crucible, though, going to be able to block it out. Idris going to have to watch it. Kaz not in a good situation at all. And doesn't look like PvP Warriors is going to help out his team.
Yeah, really unfortunate this disconnection, but I feel like they just got to be a little bit more careful than that. Well, they know that they're basically in a constant 2v3.
Well, with that, passiveness is the key for this one, as they're going to be... Feint is going to be actually going right into it and trying to actually deny that turret, but Feint going to be actually picking up that second turret for them, and Intensity just going to let it fall.
Yeah, PvP were starting to move around, but seems to be having still issues. Not really confident to go and farm up or go for the engagement there. So we'll have to keep an eye on his situation.
Well, Kaz is going to get actually impaled Githyan walled one more time, and that's going to be dead Samuel one more time for the side of Feint in favor in about 13 minutes, trying to see what they want to do. Well, he might be back.
It's hard to tell the way that he's moving. Well, now he looks a little bit better, so maybe. Yeah, really tough situation when someone on your team AFKs, especially in a really important game like this. But when you're in that situation, you just gotta play really smart and careful, and make sure that you try not to give as much over as possible.
And of course, you don't want to be caught in a very bad position. Well, it is looking like he's going to farm it just a little bit. No, he's going to go back. He's going to go back. Well, taking a look over on the side of Feint Gaming. Maybe a little bit more teammates are moving for their side. And just going to be actually playing a little bit of Minesweeper on the fold right now. I'm just popping a little bit of Scout Mines. And I'm trying to see what they want to do on the side of Intensity. They don't really want to engage just yet. So the side of Feint is actually going to be going right up to lane, trying to push the lane just a little bit and see where they go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm Not a Troll's been blowing up a little bit too fast in these engagements. I feel like boning up on his defense for a little bit here before finishing off what looks to be tension bow third item would be a pretty smart idea so that he can last a little bit longer in these fights.
Of course, he's going to have to watch himself. Here it comes. That is an insane amount of damage. And, ooh, good Rose offensive, but it's not going to help as the Githyan wall is going to push him right into the wall. Couldn't really get away in time.
Yeah, and seemingly right on cue, he gets jumped on and blown up fairly quickly by all this damage that the side of Feint Gaming has.
He has a lot of damage. He provides a lot of burst, but right now he's getting bursted down too quickly to do any damage to the enemy team.
Yeah, and he's just not having that opportunity to get set in the fight where he can get a couple breaking point stacks, get his sustain going with the Serpent's Mask. He's just getting chakrammed, and he's getting those minions on him from so far away. He's taking a lot of damage before he can get anywhere going in the fight.
Well, about 15 minutes. Kraken has now just spawned, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the War Triceps. We're going to see impale onto the side of I'm Not a Troll. There we go. Can he actually get away? No! He manages to survive by the skin of his teeth. with actual a sleep coming out from Kaz. Absolute perfect alt placement.
Yeah, really, really good there. Basically saved what would have probably maybe been third turret there. So really great ult by Cause to keep his teammate alive.
We're gonna have to see. You're gonna might want to look for it. Shade, you don't want to be there, my friend, as he does Merciless Pursuit out. And it's back and forth farming right now. About 16 minutes in, guys, and about 2,000 gold in favor of Feint as they were able to turn it around pretty easily.
Yeah, one of Intensity's main issues seems to be that they like to face check a lot. They've done that quite a few times and gotten caught out because of it.
We need vision.
That is the ping.
Well, hopefully they do get a little bit of vision. And speaking of vision, they do actually have quite a bit of vision, a little bit more vision than the actual side of Feint Gaming, with a little bit of vision on the top. They need to put a little bit of vision on the bottom, especially with the high traffic areas around the Mustache Bush and also Tri-Bush.
Yep, they need to get more in the middle of the map. Feint doesn't have a lot of vintage, but they have the map control, so that kind of makes the difference here.
Well, with that, Merciless Pursuit is going to land. Here comes the ground tremor. Here comes the alt. It is going to be blocked by the Crucible. And the Fountain is popped, trying to see what they want to do. Good amount of damage coming out. Here's the burst damage that we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be one, and we're going to try to see it. There we go. There's two. Intensity Gaming is back into the fight.
Yeah, really big difference with that fight was that they engaged first instead of PvP getting engaged on. So he was able to land and get some damage going before he started taking damage. And Cause was able to get a really good drifting dark in there, had 4 broken myth stacks, pushing them away, doing a lot of damage, getting things going before Feint really had a chance to do anything.
Well, we see PvP War trying to see what he can do right now. He's going to have to Rose Offensive away, just letting his team actually do damage onto the Kraken, see if they can do it. But there was no steal. Intensity VG is going to be able to actually take the Kraken and push towards the base.
Yeah, really good play right now from Intensity. I mean, it looked like they were in their first pinch of the series. They were, getting pushed back. They seemed to be losing most of the engagements. One fight, they have Kraken, and they're looking to be in good shape now.
Well, we are seeing, here comes the ult. That's going to be a missed reflex, just trying to get it out of the way. They're super low on the side of Feint Gaming, trying to see what they can do right now. There we go. Ultimate ult coming out from Petal. And Kraken now pushing right onto it.
Yeah, it just shows you what a late game Sam can do. He's got that full build now. He's sustaining. He's doing a ton of damage when he gets his broken mid stacks. And Petal's starting to fall off just a little bit.
Just a little bit with the side, with that tier 2 armor and light shield. With that, it's not affecting it as much, but still over half health on the Kraken, able to take 2 of the turrets. And now it does look like Intensity is just going to have to get out of there, actually pick up a kill on the side of Feint. But
yeah, I don't know if that was miscommunication or exactly what happened, but Troll decided to back off for a second. I don't know if he was just going to try to get the treant, but they got caught out. They got caught out a little bit, Cause and Shade of Talent. So Shade of Talent decided just to sacrifice himself to make sure both of his carries could get away. All in all, they got 2 turrets and some damage on one of the crystal turrets. So not a bad trade.
Not a bad trade at all. About 19 minutes and 12 seconds into the game, ladies and gentlemen. 3 kills ahead for Intensity VG. And to give a heads up, actually, I'm not a troll. Was actually not trolling. About 22k MS. Unfortunately, during the game, so that's why we were seeing him try to stay back and not really put himself in a very bad position. But going into it, about 1,000 gold behind, though, 1,000 gold in favor of Feint. But still, every time the engage does work, you're just gonna have to watch out for those walls on the side of Feint Gaming with the lance.
Yeah, really good impale there to stop the initial engage.
But the engage is actually turned around. Feint Gaming, there we go. Crucible is going to be actually blocked out for the heal. There we go. Fountain is popped. Trying to see if they can go right on a Dark Turret. There we go. Blackfeather's able to pick up that kill. That's going to be 1 kill. That's a double kill on the side of Blackfeather. Now they're just going to try to turn it around. And that is going to be an ace on the side of Intensity.
So Motivus landed that really nice impale, stopping the original engage. Then Then they moved back a little bit. Then they tried to re-engage and ran right into a silence, which was really tough for them.
There really was no good way to actually try to take that fight, unfortunately. With this is going to be, if I do say so myself, they may be able to actually take this if Fate could actually maybe stop this. Here comes the actual silence coming out. It doesn't look like they can actually finish it. They took both turrets, but unfortunately now
might have that objective damage, so not quite gonna finish it here. But Bear Crystal, so
unfortunately they're gonna have to run for their lives right now. Costa's able to get out, but Shaded Talent not so much. Oh, Shaded's actually gonna pop Fountain and try to survive just a little bit longer. Well, that is about 21 minutes. Intensity is now knocking at the Vein Crystal of Feint Gaming right now.
So
and gonna have to see what they can do. There we go. There we go. PvP Warrior, Rose Offensive over to the wall, trying to see what he can do right now. That is going to be a miss. He has one more Rose Offensive. He wants to try to get out, try to do a backdoor. He needs to. Oh no!
Sam trying to finish it off with the Drifting Dark there. So yeah, that was not necessarily a terrible idea, but that was, I mean, we're getting into throw territory. If I think if Intensity if Feint, excuse me, is smart here, they really push for that Kraken right now and try to maybe see if they can catch Sam out.
All right,
So
now about 20
engagement start. I just want to say shout out. It was a little bit late, but American Ramen had some really good Idris play in that last fight. Almost got that double kill and turned that fight around on barely any help.
Well, we definitely have a fight. That is going to be a blocked ground tremor right now. Fountain is going to be popped, but that is a 2v3. That is not a fight that you actually wanted to be fighting there. And it's going to allow actually Feint Gaming to take off that sentry. I'm trying to see what they want to do. Even without a Vein Crystal, they are determined to try to turn this game around.
Yeah, I feel like Intensity's just getting a little bit ahead of themselves. They just want to finish. So running into a 2v3 never really a great idea. Even in your own jungle, it's going to be tough.
They're going to have to look and pick for their good engages, trying to see what they want to do. Right now, if they wait 20 seconds, they can probably force that Kraken engage and probably go for the win.
Another back door.
And Motivus it does look like he knows what is going on. He's going to go right to the top and try to stop that back door.
So Catherine back up, so luckily no disasters. Even though both carries were up, I feel like Feint should have probably gone for Kraken there. Should have probably tried to bait out another engage, seeing if they could have got the kill onto the carries. A lot of deaths there for not much gain, so a little bit unfortunate.
You are right. 11-13, about 24 minutes into the game. We're going to probably see last fight is going to be the deciding factor who is going to win this game. And Feint Gaming knows that, so they're going to try to back off just a little bit, trying to see what they want to do. But on the side of Intensity, if they can get one good engage and one good Rose Offensive under Darthrick, it's over. Ooh, Kath on the actually going on the other side. Here comes a Rose Offensive. Is it going to be enough? Trying to see what they want to do right now. I'm Not a Troll is too far away from his teammates. Oh, so close. Petal's going to be able to pop that all, get a little bit of healing. But on the side of Feint Gaming, they're going to have to run because they're so low right now. Motivus is not in a good situation. Merciless Pursuit is going to stun it up, and that is going to be at least a 1-for-1 on both sides of the team.
So we could see a re-engage here, but really barely decent and good lucky play by Petal. Well, it seemed like she was out of position.
Darthrick does look like he wants to get a little bit of blood. Ground Tremor gonna silence it up a little bit, but it doesn't look like they want to try to fight too much right now. Ooh. There goes Kraken.
Petal being very aggressive for how squishy she is.
Well, she is. Does look like. Oh, can they stop it? They did stop it. That is going to be a Merciless Pursuit and a Corrupted Genius right on top of it. Cause not in a good position either. We're going to see it. There we go. Merciful Pursuit right into his sleep, and the Chakram is going to actually shut it down. What a great turnabout, but they're not going to actually want to turn around. They know I'm Not a Troll is actually up, trying to see what they want to do. Can they stop at least one of them? No!
American Ramen playing this Idris fantastically, managing to go into that 2v3 after Petal got low. That earlier fight, Petal seemed out of position, managed to get away. Then I'm Not a Troll went too deep, going to finish off the kill, and ended up getting killed himself. But Sam poking all the while got them both low. They managed to end up making Motivus make the sacrificial lamb play, and then
Oh no.
really good Idris play.
With Githian Wall, Ground Tremor is out right now, silencing up the enemy team. Kraken is still a little bit high. Going to be seeing who it is. 3v2, trying to see what they can do. Who team? Oh! Fate Gaming picks up the Kraken. And now Intensity Gaming is on the back foot.
Yeah, you wonder why they would try to sneak a Kraken in a 2v3 situation. I mean, they're not going to likely be able to get it with just a Black Feather before they can get there. And at that point, when you're in a 2v3 on a Kraken take, you're most likely going to lose it or end up just getting engaged on and lose a kill. It's almost like they just did most of the damage to Kraken for Feint. They're not quite pushing this, so this could be interesting.
Well, it's about half health for the Kraken as they now are just pushing on that turret. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, that Kraken is going to be falling without any gain from it. That's 500 gold. 500 gold per teammate, and it's going to push Intensity a little bit further. But right now, I'm Not a Troll doing a great reflex. Ground Tremor gonna actually turn the fight around. Here it comes. There we go. Item silence, so we're not going to see any founds coming out. We're going to see, oh, good Githian Wall, good Crucible coming out from the side of Intensity, trying to see what team wants it right now. They're just engaging, disengaging, trying to pick what fights they want right now. But Kaz is going to be blocked by the Munions right now for his Malice Inverts, and the Drifting Darkness is going to be able to hit at least one time. But Motivus is not in a good situation right now. They're still trying to chase it a little bit. If they keep chasing, they may be able to end this.
Yeah, Frostburn doing so much work. They're constantly keeping them in range.
Though, here comes the Echo with the Ground Triple one more time. Super low. Motivus and Darthrick, though, no, Found does get popped. So now Intensity Gaming is now on the back foot one more time, trying to see what they can do. There goes Bubble, and it does look like Feint is going to actually call off the entire engagement.
Incredible back and forth fight. So on the nice edge there. So close to going either way. Sam doing so much work with his really well-placed Drifting Darks and great use of the Frostburn, constantly slowing up, making Motivus have to sit there and always be there. And then great turnaround. That Idris coming back, putting down the damage when he needed to. Great use of the CC by Motivus as well.
Look at how much vision is on the map by the side of Feint. Absolutely insane.
Yep.
But
yeah, Intensity does have some key spots in the jungle, but overall, it's definitely Feint. Ever since they got that Bear Vein Crystal, I mean, Motivus with the 2 full slots.
But here comes the item silence onto Motivus, and here Ground Tremor's already out. Alt's going to try to see what they can do. That's going to be one kill for the side Intensity. That's a double kill, and it looks like they're going to try to finish this off. Motivus, that is going to be an ace on the side of Intensity, finishing the Season 3 NA Champion League North America 3-0.
Fantastic engage. There's such a back and forth fight, and then such a dominant one back to back. Really interesting. Just seems like that was the story of the Petal falling off a little bit. He did so much work early, but really was not much of a factor in the late game.
I do have to admit, the game's absolutely exciting, especially games 2 and 3. Could have gone either way, and still just a little bit of positioning can either make or break any engages that you try to do.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0 for Intensity, but really Feint doesn't have anything to be ashamed of here. They did a really good job. First game, a little bit less so, but second and third game, really, really close, and they honestly could have taken it had one or two small things gone differently.
Of course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your Season 3 winners are Intensity VG. And until next time, my name is T-Dog Klysis, and with me,
Josh.
Josh.
Thank you.
There we go. And we'll be seeing you next time.